We're now joined by the founder of HappyBottoms, Jill Gaikowski. It is so wonderful to have spend some time with you, Jill, as we sort of get our heads around what is an incredible need in America, but also across the world at the moment. People can't afford diapers. Can you just tell us about what you're seeing unfold in Kansas City, where you are?
Sure. 1 in 3 families in America cannot afford diapers. And most people don't know that diapers aren't covered by government assistance programs like SNAP and WIC. And during the pandemic, we have just seen the need increase substantially. We receive so many new calls every single day from families needing diapers. And, it's interesting because the cost of diapers went up during the pandemic, almost 9%, and that cost continues to increase. Before that, we already have families working 2 to 3 jobs who can't afford this basic need, and the cost continues to rise. And with families being affected by the pandemic, typically the same triad that is always affected, women, people of color, and the poor are being affected by this pandemic, and it's making it even harder to get diapers into their hands or for them to be able to afford diapers.
I myself have a kid in diapers, and I've seen the prices go up. What used to cost $20 now costs $40 for a number that was $200 to begin with, and then the number keeps falling within that $40 packet. The ramifications for me, of course, are just, the amount that I spend, but I'm so fortunate that I can keep on purchasing them. If you're not able to buy enough diapers, what does that mean for you as someone who wants to go out and work?
Well, you can't. In fact, there's a study that shows families miss about 4 days of work a month because they didn't have the diapers that they needed to supply to their child care center. You need to supply those diapers. If you don't have them, you can't send your kid, you can't go to work. It's an economic issue. Not only that, but diapers just have such a ripple effect on this whole poverty puzzle. And when families don't have access to those diapers, it really has devastating effects on their life, on what they can do, on how they can contribute to society. It's something that people need to pay attention to.
It's become a bit of a vicious cycle, of course, not only for those poor families that are trapped within it, but this, of course, is an industry that is controlled by 2 key companies, really. The 4 best-known brands of diapers are actually controlled by just 2 companies alone. And P&G and Kimberly-Clark are seeing their own costs build, and that's why they're passing it on to the consumer. It's sort of supply chain issues, cost inflation as well. But what then is happening at the diaper bank that you currently have founded and work at? Who gives those sorts of diapers, and how are you able to best distribute?
We're fortunate that we are able to get diapers from several vendors, and most people know there was a toilet paper shortage during the pandemic. There was also a diaper shortage. So we're lucky that we've been able to continue to receive diapers. We don't know yet if there's going to be an impact on the cost of diapers. We do purchase the most of our diapers thanks to generous donors in the community. Obviously, we're a little concerned about how that's going to play out. But more than that, I'm working with other diaper banks in the state of Missouri. In fact, today we've got some representatives and legislators coming in to do a volunteer shift. And, we want to make some real change on the state level. Can we get taxes removed from diapers? Can there be a diaper stipend? What can we do to really affect change to help these families get to work and do what they need to do to have a happy, healthy, and clean baby?
Do you think families know about the resources of the diaper banks? Just talk to us about how many there are across America and how people find out about services such as yours.
Sure. There's over 200 diaper banks in the country. When HappyBottoms started, there were a little more than 5, and now there's more than 200. And I do think people know about it. In fact, I was at a distribution event this morning where the line was more than 2 miles long of people waiting for diapers. And it wasn't just a single line, it was double, and in some places 4 across was the line of people waiting for diapers. And so the need is there. It's clearly there. People continue to show up, and we've had to change how we work to make sure that we're getting diapers into the community, into the hands of families who need them, especially during the pandemic and during this time as well.
2 miles long is extraordinary.
Yeah.
What is it getting worse, or is it getting better? We feel as though perhaps the economy is reviving. We talk here on Bloomberg Television and on Quicktake about how the numbers coming in, people being able to get back to work, about people, seeing an economic recovery, but do you feel it on the ground?
I don't feel it. And again, I think it goes back to mothers, right? Somebody has to take care of the child. And if you can't, again, afford those diapers or afford diapers for childcare, then how can you get back to work? How can you get back and help build that economy? So we are seeing that the need is still significant. I mean, we're serving almost 4,000 children every single month are coming and receiving diapers through one of our programs.
Jill, we're starting to see a pulling back of pandemic relief as we talk about the economic recovery. So the government starts to see governors, in particular, certain states pull back on unemployment benefits, for example. Is that having any effect, do you feel?
I don't feel that yet, but I'm bracing for it. I have not, I'm planning for it and I'm bracing for it, but I have not felt it yet. No.
And when you're talking to legislators, when people are coming to you to ask for advice, you've talked about some of the ways in which we could alleviate some of the problems, relief of taxes, for example. Are they willing? Are they able? Do you think this is something that is going up the list of necessities when it comes to changing laws or making change?
I think in some states, absolutely. In Missouri, we're still educating our legislators that we even exist. So we're a little bit, we're starting a little bit lower, but some states have had incredible success with making significant change, and we hope to follow in their footsteps.
Sorry for my naivety here as a British person living in America, but how global is this problem? Do you speak to diaper banks worldwide? Is this an American issue? Is this happening elsewhere as well?
I don't know that I know for certain, but I can't imagine. I have to imagine that it is a worldwide issue. If it's something, poverty is everywhere. Poverty is worldwide. So I'm certain that it is an issue everywhere.
And when you look at people, you just said you're concerned about the future of giving, of the philanthropic efforts that you've seen. Why are you concerned about that? Well,
because I think there is so much uncertainty coming out of a pandemic, and the community, everybody was so giving and so generous, and we were able to add so many programs and serve more people, but now we need to sustain that. And is that funding going to be sustained? Just like you mentioned, some of that pandemic relief is being pulled back. So how do we plan for that, and how do we move forward and continue to raise funds to ensure these families have diapers and can go to work?
And if someone wanted to make a donation, how would they do it?
Yes. HappyBottoms.org.
Jill, I want to thank you so much for your time, for your good work, and for keeping us educated on the fact. Jill Kajkowski, really wonderful to have some time with you. Thank you, of Happy Bottoms.
Thank you so much.